Hi, saxophone players. Today we're going to talk about the reed and how do you put it onto the mouthpiece and how does that ligature work. So, start with your reed in the reed case, probably it is. When you take it out, notice that the tip is the part that goes into the case. You got to be really careful taking that in and out so you don't accidentally bonk the tip because it's very thin and it can chip or get snagged or rip. So when you take it out, there's a flat side and there's a little side that has a little bump there. What you're going to do is you're going to actually put the flat side in your mouth to about there, right where I was pointing to. Okay. The reason is when we use this on our instrument, this is what provides the vibration in order to make sound. Just like your vocal cords need air and vibration to make a sound so that you have a voice and can sing, your instrument needs the reed to vibrate, but if it's not wet, then it's going to be very stiff and dry and it won't make a very good vibration, and so it's going to squeak. It's just like if you tried to sing and when you were really thirsty and your throat was kind of like, ooh, dry feeling, and you tried to sing, it would be very uncomfortable. Well, that's kind of like this. This needs to be wet, just like your vocal cords need to be nice and lubricated. So, after you have this in your mouth, let's just pretend you have it in your mouth for a little bit of time. So, the whole time you're putting your neck strap on, this should be in your mouth. That will give it time to get wet. When you're doing that, make sure that you don't push the bottom of your tongue up on the bottom of this so it doesn't warp or bend in your mouth, because as this becomes wet, it's warm from your mouth and you can accidentally damage it in your mouth. So just be careful and make sure you're not like a lollipop taking the moisture off of it. You just kind of want to surround it with moisture in your mouth. Okay, so while you're doing that, and you have your neck strap on, you're putting this in your mouth so it can get wet. While you're doing it, just pretend my reed is in my mouth the whole time while I'm doing this. This is called the neck of the saxophone. Kind of looks like a neck. Okay. This is an important gizmo on your saxophone called the register key. Okay, there's a button that you push in your saxophone that causes this to go up and down, and it changes the register of the music you're playing from low to high. But it's important it doesn't get bent. So you need to put this mouthpiece onto this piece of cork on the neck. But what I see a lot of kids doing, when they hold on to this, they squeeze it so tightly that when they're turning this on to put it on, it's bending this. This is probably the number one thing that gets bent on the saxophone. Okay. Luckily, it's semi-easy to fix, but we want to avoid it as much as possible. So how we can do that is by taking the cork grease that is in your case. Let's see here. Yes. The cork grease that is in your case, and you are going to take the lid off the cork grease and you're going to kind of just put some on there. And then you're going to have to rub that in. This is cork, so it's not like a sponge. A sponge soaks up moisture really quickly, but this does not. So you really have to put a bunch on there and really rub it in and then wipe your hand off because it will be greasy. This should go on nice and easy when you do that. It still is a little stiff because it should be nice and firm because we don't want any air to leak. Okay? Now, how far do you push this down depends on intonation, playing in tune. And so we don't need to worry about that right yet. But you don't want to have it too far off. Okay? You can see where mine changes color. Mine goes on about that far. And you should try to get yours on about that far too. If you have a new instrument, that cork is going to be a little harder to moisture up with your cork grease and get this on. So you're going to have to cork grease that like every single day until it glides right on the way you need it to. But again, it should be kind of tight a little bit so that no air can leak through. So the reed has been in your mouth this entire time. Now you're ready to take this and put it on here. So your reed in your mouthpiece. So notice that the hole of the mouthpiece, this is where it's empty, there's a hole there, is on the bottom, not the top. Okay, this is the enclosed part. Okay, so I'm going to hold it like this with the, I know you can't see that very well, but that's the whole part. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be using this in my right hand. I'm going to put it right there. My left hand is going to be holding it right where I want it. So as I scooch it with my right hand, my left thumb is kind of holding it there for me. Okay? And that's what it should look like. Let's see if I can get that a better look. It's right towards the top. It's not above it. It's not below it, except for just maybe what we call a skosh. See that? Then my thumb is holding it in place, my left thumb. And now your right hand is going to gently put that ligature on. If you have it upside down, you're going to notice real quick that that does not look right. So turn it around and make sure the screws are facing you. Okay? Not like this on the outside, like this on the inside. And now I can just move my left thumb out of the way. And when you tighten the screws, you only want to tighten them so that they're snug, just so it doesn't fall off the instrument, okay? But, you know, so not real tight or else it won't vibrate in your mouth. Okay? Then you're ready to put this part into the body of your saxophone. And we'll talk about that in the next video. So I know that was a lot of directions. So go back, rewatch it, push pause, do this along with me, take time to do it on your own. Get good at this, because this is the difference between us getting to actually play in a lesson and not, because we can't get our reeds on properly. Okay? All right. Thanks for watching.